hay up here today, but it's tough. It's real tough. It's dry, but it's real tough. So he's gonna go cut some more down. Me, I'm gonna find something else for a little bit. Come back and check it later. But I raked it all over yesterday. Some of it's just real tough. It needs to mellow out here a while before we bale it. We got just a little bit of a sprinkle last night, but I don't know that we got enough to even worry about that. It's supposed to rain again this evening, maybe. But it's some kind of awful hot out here. It's like 90-something degrees right now. It's some kind of awful hot out here. I really wish I had some shade. Some shade would be good. And to run a baler, a cab would be even better. But I don't own none of those. Maybe one day we'll get to the point where we can buy us a tractor with a cab on it just to hook to the baler and maybe feed some hay bales in the wintertime with. Other than that, gotta do what we got. Catch y'all later. Well, garland out here on Sunday afternoon. It's about 2 o'clock. It's a beautiful day. But it is a little warm out here. And this old hay, I think it's about dry enough. I don't feel like sitting in the baler dust, but I guess somebody's gonna have to start on this hay. Supposed to rain maybe this evening. So, anyway, it's a beautiful day on Sunday. But it's a nice breeze blowing, but it's hot out here in the middle of the hayfield. All right, have a good day. Noisy old thing. A noisy machine. Well, we've baled about a quarter of the field, or a third of the field. We ended up doing some baling. Did about a third of the field. It's time to go home. It's been an awful day. Absolutely an awful day. Dust and dirt, 90-degree temperature, and no wind, no air movement. You know, it's been an awful day. Catch y'all tomorrow. Well, Chris is behind me baling. My uncle's up in here somewhere with this 3000 hooked to my rake. Up in here somewhere. This is called the tree field because there's a big old tree in the middle of it. Dad, he's over here riding around on a golf cart, causing havoc. supposed to be going up the road with tractor, but yet Dad's just catching up to with everybody else. This field's called the 10 acre field because it's 10 acres. It's my uncle out there on his 3000 hooked to my rake. He got that tractor from a friend of his, and well, his friend thought he wanted it back. Well, he never did anything with it, so my uncle ended up getting it back again. And then last year he went to painting on it, put some tires on it and fixed it up a little bit. Used it around the house. Likes to get out here and do a little raking with it. I ain't gonna show you all his love handles, but every now and again he likes to take all his clothes off when he comes out here and rides the tractor. Gonna go up the road and do the 9 acre piece and cattle it. My uncle, he's out here gonna rake some of this out on this side now. Do a little touch up over here. You can see Chris up there. They're cooperating so far. This grass up here looks short compared to normal. Looks very short. Looks very short. Very, very short. Got a lot of clover in there. A lot of clover. Some weeds. But anyways, there's some good stuff in there too. But it's very short. Like, it's about, I can honestly say this looks about half the height it was last year. It really does. I know this stuff was way taller than this. Way taller. That's funny because everywhere else is way taller than this. And normally this up here gets more rain. But anyways, hopefully it doesn't take out the neighbor's fence. A bunch of Johnson grass back here next to the neighbor's fence. But anyways, it'll be done with this in about 2 hours. I'll go down the road and find something to do, since everybody else is busy doing something. Well, Dad told the neighbors they could have the hay down here on the pasture like they did last year. The other neighbor, he made the other side. This neighbor, he's out here cutting it down today. Got his 30-10 out here with his old new Holland hay bind. He told me last time don't video it because it ain't pretty to look at, but it gets the job done. Something's cutting it. The other neighbor said that that grass was real thin. It was real thin and real dry. I think the other neighbor on the other side literally cut it down. I think he cut it and baled it the same day. Or cut it one evening and baled it the next day. Something like that. Pretty much just right on to it. Well, I got an hour before I got to go back and get Dad. So, took the tire off the bush hog, counted some hay bales. Now I'm looking at this baler. It done tore that belt. It broke the next belt. For some reason there's net wrap all wrapped around that bar up in there. The hay's all piled up to the top in the front. It tore the crap out of the second belt. He just tore it all up. These were brand new. All these belts were brand new. And this is rolled up in here. Should have cleaned this thing out already. But you know how things go when it breaks and you're just tired of dealing with it. So yeah, that could be why it broke, but I don't know what to tell you. Other than it just keeps happening over and over and over again. So we're going to make an attempt to clean it out here for a little bit. All right, now that we got most of the hay out of the way. Somebody's comment was, you're not supposed to bale green hay. Well, this wasn't green and it wasn't wet. It may have been started raining about the time he was baling a little bit, but that ain't the problem. So when the hay comes back here in the chamber, you know, it's supposed to spin around and get started. Well, what's happening is, just like on the 630 baler, it's kicking all that hay back up through here. Back up through here under this roller. It's kicking it all back straight up under this roller. And when it does that, it shoves all it up in the front, all up in the front there. Now granted, as soon as it got all up in the front like that, I think Dad probably should have stopped. But anyways, so once it does that, it shows so much hay up between these rollers that it basically smoked this belt up in there and then ripped the belt in half. Basically, is what happened here. I gotta try to get it dug out of that, get all that stuff dug out of there. But this is the problem. And it just keeps doing it over and over and over again. Like we had one belt break. We put a new belt on, had another belt break, put a new belt on. Well, then the two outer belts were longer than all the other belts that were on there. Well, they kept flipping over, kept flipping over, kept flipping over. It always seems to happen on this side. And anyways, it keeps happening on this side. It's always on this side. Sometimes it's on that side, but most time it's on this side. So then we broke a few more belts. Well, we end up replacing all the belts with all the same length belts, basically. Even though these two, this one and this one here, were the older belt, they were still the same length. So, but the same result keeps happening. We just keep tearing belts up because all this hay just wants to feed up through there instead of getting back here and getting rolling. I don't know what to tell y'all. I'm just going to go back cleaning it.
Well, he's all done. Now we gotta go back down the road. Takes about 2 hours to cut this little 9 acres. And all these little houses. In and out and around all these little houses. Well, we're gonna call it quits for today. Brought Dad up here and dropped him off for his golf cart. We took that tire down there to Lee to get fixed. He's getting ready to blow job this thing. Call it quits for today. He said we're about 180 bales into this field right now, according to the counter. He said it was about 3 of them that were messed up. So
I got a monkey in the camera. Did you put the pin in?
well, they're up here baling this field. Except they forgot the last 2 fields. I don't understand why we started baling this field instead of finishing the last 2. Anyways, we will figure it out here in a minute. Here comes a load of hay up the road. I think that's coming out of our cow pasture. Pretty sure it's coming out of our cow pasture. Pretty sure that just came out of the cow pasture. That's who was doing the cutting. Well, the neighbor's beans look good, other than they're very short. He's done cutting up here. So we're gonna go that way and cut the ditches back on the other road, back by the dam. Going down the road. Got a bunch of deer over here on the hill, in the ditch, in the trees, in the beans. We're down here cutting these ditches. We're gonna cut these ditches down in here. Dad cut all the rest of the hay up on the Cherry Hill. Chris is up there baling. My uncle was up there raking earlier. I got a harvester. He's sleeping. Mama went off to town to pick some stuff up for us.
I see that.
Yeah, we got invited to come down on this side.
That one.
So we came on down to the dam. You don't see no water flowing over it, but there ain't gonna be no water flowing over it because most of the water flows under it. But anyways, the old mill's just to the left that you can't see. But that's private property, so we don't go over there without permission. Ain't nobody gave us permission. But anyways, down here on Cedar Run, he wants us to cut all this too, back in here, down here, back here, and back in these ditches. This little field, Ain't much in here. Needs a little bit of extra grass planted, but
That's the dam.
it's some in here.
Yeah, the dam is up there. Yeah, he made a nice little place here to walk down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice place.
Got a little spot to walk down the dam. Well, we come down the road here, and the neighbor's up here baling our hay.
He's rolling one out, looks like.
He's up here baling our hay for us. This is the neighbor we gave the hay to down the road. He's up here getting ready to roll out a hay bale that don't have no string on it and roll it up again. More 5.7 silage special. You might want to catch a little bit lower gear there. Yeah, hay bale coming out the back. You got to back up, dump the bale on this one. Well, he finished this field, except for all this hay laying all over the place. It didn't get into the baler. He's over here in this tree field.
Down in front of Buzzards, down there towards American excavate, or whatever you want to call them. Down there by that one little tree that did spotted fawn there and got ate up.
Yeah. Pop, dropped harvester off to get the golf cart, so you don't have to walk back around the shed.